So what are some of those main problems that you run into as you kind of start to creep into the winter?
Well, sure. I think preparation is the key. You have to prepare for the winter just like you prepare for operations in the summer. It's kind of like training for a marathon. If you don't do the training, you're not going to be able to finish the race. So just in general, before the winter gets cold, there's some things that you should do to help winterize your rig for the winter. First of all, I would make sure that your windshield washer is working properly and you have winter fluid in the reservoir. You want to make sure that it's sufficient to protect down to 20 below Fahrenheit. Otherwise, you're going to run into problems when you need to be able to have visibility in the winter. In addition, you need to do things like, remove excessive grease from your fifth wheel. Make sure you lube it with a light product for the winter so it's ready. You also, if it's already snowing, you want to make sure you remove snow from the fifth wheel before you're trying to couple. So, keep that in mind. And really, before winter starts, you should pack a winter survival kit. Make sure you have some high-calorie snacks in there, have some warm clothes, have some proper winter footwear. Pack a snow shovel in your truck if you're operating the snow belt. It might save you a tow bill. If you have accessories on your rig like a liftgate or other devices that are hydraulic in nature, make sure you got the correct viscosity fluid in them so they function properly in the cold temperatures. For example, your PTO, hydraulic pumps, your motors, all of that. You also want to make sure you check your battery and your connections on your trailer liftgates if you're so equipped, because batteries don't charge well in the cold, as we all know. And if you've got an auxiliary engine, make sure they're ready for winter too, and that includes your reefer unit. If you use traction devices, you want to make sure they're in serviceable condition. So those are just some general tips on how to prepare for the winter.
Okay, yeah, maybe you could expand a little bit on some of on tires specifically. What is some maintenance that they can do that'll help keep them safe on the road?
Sure. Well, first of all, just in any kind of weather, you want to make sure you have the proper inflation pressure for the load being carried. So you always want to make sure that you check the pressure in your tires when the tire is cold. If you've got an ATIS system, automatic tire inflation system, or a tire pressure monitoring system, great, that's going to help you do that. But just do note that pressures drop about a pound of pressure for every 10-degree drop in temperature. So when the weather gets colder, you want to make sure that you're staying at your target pressure for the load being carried. In addition, you should also inspect all your tires for excessive wear. There may be irregular wear issues. There might be cuts. You might have tread depth issues. You're going to make sure that all your tires have sufficient tread for safe winter driving. And please, drain that fuel water separator at least weekly, because that's going to save you a lot of trouble in the long run. Check for water in your fuel tanks, and if you have to, remove that water either mechanically or physically. Because remember, when we went to ultra low sulfur diesel several years ago, that fuel is more what they call hydrophilic. It likes water, and that's not necessarily good for winter operations. And if they want to find out more about it, they can always visit our website, tmc.trucking.org. It is a place you can get all sorts of tips, along with 4,000 pages of the best information on how to spec and maintain your vehicle.